Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I would do if I had to start another automotive business from scratch. After making more mistakes than you've probably had kisses from your mother-in-law, we've generated close to $20 million just in the last 5 years. And here's a few things that I would have done different that could save you thousands of dollars and time in the trenches. First lesson, start how you want to finish. In the early days, it's very common and an instinctual move to come in cheaper than your competitors just to get your foot in the door. I did this to a degree with product, but my worst offense was not charging call-outs. I started off doing mobile tires, and I remember it like it was yesterday. There was a farmer that said to me, "Look mate, I'll give you all my work, but I'm not paying for any call-outs." So, new kid on the block, I agreed. Hell yeah, sounds awesome. Sounded awesome. Then I employed my first team member. I invested in another service vehicle, and I soon came to the realization that I was essentially paying an employee for quite a few hours per week, use my diesel, and I wasn't making any money. Of course, I brought it up with the client, but was quickly told
what his original terms were.
So what did I do? I let the customer go. What you will find in the early days of business is you become a trash magnet. You'll attract all of the customers that want everything for nothing. They refuse to pay within terms, and there will always be a problem, even if there isn't one. And the common theme is that these are customers that do not align with our values for good business practice. Loyalty doesn't exist, and that's why they're so quick to align with the new underdog. If you start how you want to finish, charge your worth, do your market research, you will attract customers that align with your brand and your service, not the dollar. Lesson number 2, use credit to your advantage, but keep an eye on the balance sheet. And a quick side note, I do not offer financial advice. On the channel, I share my story and what has worked for me or what hasn't. However, inside of Auto Cartel, you get direct access to my personal accountant, Dan the man. Back to it. A lot of fresh entrepreneurs on the scene are scared of putting themselves into debt, like getting a loan for vehicles or equipment. I can't stress this enough. If it is a goal of yours to scale to 7 figures and beyond, then you need to hold on to your cash for the following reasons. 1, building a team, paying for another employee is going to give you way more leverage than whatever percentage you might be spending on interest. 2, you are going to get stitched up by accounts receivable. No matter how good a bloke you are, it is only a matter of time before you get left holding the bag. You will need cash. 3, so you can be aggressive towards opportunities. A lot of the moves that I made, like going into our second or third location, were moves made when opportunities presented themselves, and we used cash flow from the business to get them up and running. Yes, I get it. There's more risk accumulating debts, but this video is about scaling your automotive business, not setting yourself up for retirement, playing it safe, and working alongside the middle class until you're 65 years old. I will openly admit, as we scaled to multiple locations, we ran into cash flow issues many times over. It was scary times. There were times I didn't think we were going to make it, and having the burden of the overheads definitely made it a lot more stressful. But diamonds are formed under pressure, guys. Without that fire under my backside, there is no way I would have found that dog in me that I definitely needed at times to keep us moving forward. Lesson number 3, study your opponents and find out what they aren't doing. When I first started out, it was very clear that nobody was interested in 24/7 on-site service. So what was my focus? Exactly that. That was my main focus. That was my main marketing message. A lot of businesses eventually find out what their core model is over time. So in the early days, find out what your community might be missing. Find an area that's not done to a high standard, then double down on it. I'm going to be real with you. Any new business is going to find it hard to break through the noise. So try to avoid going toe-to-toe with components with the same approach that they may have mastered over years. This doesn't mean that in time you can't still come along and squash them. As I said, we started off focusing on commercial on-site work. Since then, we've grown a team and established ourselves in the community, and we now offer the full stack for tires and automotive, mechanical diagnostics, servicing, wheel alignments, 4x4 suspension, wheel and tire packages. But that's not where we started. So find a niche that's a weak point in your community. Double down and dominate that area first. Lesson number 4, offer key players skin in the game. Finding good players to help drive your vision is going to be tough. In 5 years, we have chewed up and spat out over 50 people. And that's not a flex or something that I'm proud of. Our industry is tough, especially the tire industry. It is hard to find people that are committed, focused, and driven in the tire game. So if you do find the one, if you've watched The Matrix, imagine you're Morpheus and you stumble across Neo. That is what I'm talking about. You can always pick somebody that gets it. They're picking up what you're putting down. They're always prepared to go the extra mile. So do whatever it takes to keep them. The best way to do this is to offer an ascension plan, progressive opportunities in the business. We have a really cool success story with one of our guys. He came in as a mechanic, quickly proved himself, promoted to 2IC, then to manager, and then actually went on to buying one of our locations. Because if we didn't give him the pathway, he was the kind of bloke that would eventually pave his own path. So if you do stumble across an absolute weapon, put together a clear roadmap for them. It might be something as simple as, right, if you give me 12 months, you'll get a profit share on these KPIs. Give me 2 years and you'll get a minority share in the operation. These are just a few examples. But I promise you, if you do want to scale, you must make sure you have a solid right-hand man. You cannot do it on your own. Guys, I hope you got a bit of sauce out of this one. If you are in the auto trade or thinking about starting your own business, please let me know in the comments where you're at. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And lastly, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm doing my best to drop these kind of videos weekly. Thanks, guys.